The first thing they teach you about alien diplomacy is this: never assume your humor translates. The second thing they teach you, usually right after a near-fatal incident, is that some species take words far more seriously than weapons. I learned both lessons in the hall of Accord on Kepri Prime, standing beneath a ceiling of living crystal that hummed softly with the station's gravity field. The air smelled faintly metallic, tinged with ozone and unfamiliar incense. Around me, representatives of a dozen starfaring civilizations watched in polite silence as the ceremonial exchange reached its final phase. I was humanity's envoy, one human, one voice, one fragile-looking mammal among titans. Across from me stood Veilrix of the Ashen Guard. She was tall, well over 2 meters, encased in layered battle armor the color of storm-dark iron. Glowing sigils traced her pauldrons and chest plate, each mark representing victories earned in ritual combat. Her helm was crested, angular, and intimidating by design. To the Kepri, warriors were not merely soldiers, they were living contracts. Their presence meant oaths had weight. Veilrix had been assigned as both my escort and my counterpart for the negotiations. For 3 cycles, she had stood at my side in absolute silence, moving only when required, watching everything with eyes that burned amber behind her visor. At last, the Speaker of the Accord raised its many-jointed arms. "The compact is agreed," it intoned. "Custom demands the exchange of intent. Envoy of Earth, you may state your desire." This was standard. Every species expressed intent differently: territory, trade, mutual defense. Humans, being humans, had decided centuries ago to keep it simple. I exhaled, tension easing from my shoulders. The hardest part was over. Veilrix turned toward me, her armored head tilting slightly. When she spoke, her voice resonated through her suit, deep, steady, almost musical. "Human envoy," she said, "custom also allows a personal declaration. Speak it freely." The hall waited. I smiled. It was a stupid, tired smile, the kind you make after days without sleep, when adrenaline finally lets go and humor slips out before caution can catch it. "Well," I said lightly, "what do I want?" I glanced up at her towering form and shrugged. "You," I said. Obviously. A ripple of sound passed through the hall. Not laughter, not quite. Something closer to a collective intake of breath. Veilrix did not move. For a heartbeat, I worried I'd just insulted a warrior culture that saw defenses with dismemberment. Then her helm disengaged with a sharp hiss. The face revealed beneath was angular and sharp-featured, skin the pale gray of cooled ash. Her eyes, those burning amber eyes, locked onto mine with sudden, intense focus. "Confirmed," she said. Before I could respond, the clasps along her breastplate began to unlock. One by one, the hall erupted. Kepri delegates recoiled. The speaker's limbs flailed in agitation. A dozen security drones powered up, hovering uncertainly as ancient protocols collided with unprecedented circumstances. I just stood there, brain grinding to a halt. "Wait," I blurted, hands raised. "No, this is a misunderstanding." Veilrix ignored the chaos. Her armored gauntlets moved with ceremonial precision, releasing the seals that had not been broken outside a battlefield or sacred chamber in over a century. "To unseal one's armor," she said calmly, "is to offer vulnerability. To offer vulnerability is to acknowledge a bond. You have declared desire. I am Ashengard. I accept." My translator chimed helpfully in my ear, utterly unconcerned with my impending death by diplomatic incident. I swallowed. I meant metaphorically. That was when she paused. The chest plate hung partially open, revealing an inner layer of flexible combat mesh etched with more sigils, older ones, deeper ones. Her gaze narrowed, not with anger, but confusion. "Explain," she said. The speaker slammed its staff into the crystalline floor, producing a resonant shockwave. "Halt this exchange." Veilrix turned her head slightly, never taking her eyes off me. "The human spoke within ritual bounds," she said. "His words carry weight." "I was joking," I said weakly. The word translated. Veilrix froze. Around us, the hall fell into stunned silence. "A joke," she repeated slowly. "A declaration of desire spoken without intent." "Yes," I said quickly. "Humans do that. It's humor. Social bonding. Not a binding vow." Her eyes searched my face, as if scanning for deception. "For us," she said quietly, "to speak desire is to stake one's honor. To accept it is to risk everything." The armor seals stopped disengaging. For a long moment, I thought the situation might still explode, politically or literally. Then Veilrix did something no Ashengard warrior was recorded as having done in public. She laughed. It was a low, surprised sound, rough at first, then warmer. The tension in her posture eased, and with careful deliberation, she resecured the breastplate, the seals locking back into place. "Your species," she said, "is profoundly dangerous." I let out a breath I hadn't realized I was holding. "Yeah," I said. "We get that a lot." The speaker cleared its throat sacs, trying desperately to regain control. "This incident will be recorded as cultural dissonance. No offense formally recognized." The drones powered down. The delegates whispered. And something shifted. After the hall emptied, Veilrix requested private audience rights, an unheard-of honor extended to a human. We walked along the station's outer promenade, a transparent arc revealing the swirl of Khepri Prime below. For the first time since I'd met her, Veilrix removed her helm completely, carrying it under one arm. "You risk much," she said, even unknowingly. "I'm good at that," I replied. She studied me with open curiosity now, not guarded assessment. "Most species fear us. Even allies maintain distance. Humans tend to poke the scary thing," I said. "Sometimes it works out." "Sometimes," she agreed. We stopped at the viewport. Reflections of stars danced across her armor. "Among my people," Veilrix said, "there is a belief that one day we would meet a species that treats words as lightly as weapons, and weapons as carefully as promises." I frowned. "That sounds ominous." "It is," she said, "for everyone else." Over the following cycles, the story spread. Not the unsealing, record sealed that quickly, but the outcome. A human had spoken without fear to an Ashengard, had erred, admitted it, and lived. Negotiations accelerated. Trade routes opened. Military observers began quietly reevaluating humanity's psychological profile. We were small, soft, briefly lived, and utterly unafraid to stand before legends and speak casually. Veilrix became humanity's official liaison to the Guard. She requested it personally. We worked well together. Too well, some said. On my final day aboard Khepri Prime, as my transport prepared to depart, Veilrix escorted me to the docking bay. "This is where we part," I said. "For now," she replied. I hesitated, then smiled, the same tired, human smile. "So," I said carefully, "what do you desire?" Her eyes glinted. "This time," she said, "I will ask for clarification before unsealing anything." We both laughed. As the hatch closed and the ship pulled away, I realized something profound. Humanity had entered the galactic stage armed with fleets and technology, But what truly unsettled the stars was something far simpler. We spoke freely. We joked with warriors. And when faced with the weight of ancient rituals, we did not flinch.